Hey everyone! I tried to do a video just now, get ready with me. It may or may not go up on my channel, but disregard that. Doesn't even matter. I was trying to talk to you guys about something that was on my heart, kind of like a heart-to-heart. I don't know if I communicate as well as I would like to. It's just really hard sometimes doing something else while trying to communicate. So I'm just going to give you a summary. I'm just going to kind of give the meat and potatoes. That sounds really good. I'm hungry, y'all. Just came back from the gym. I'm just going to give you guys kind of like a rundown of what I want to tell you. So, and this is off the cuff, which is why I don't have like a perfect setup right now. I'm doing this on my phone. But, you know, my prayer is that that this is helping whoever this is for. And that you get something out of this. That's really all this is. Yep.
Taste my cookie dough.
Oh, I gotta taste Mama's cookie dough. What is this?
Taste
Cookie
my
dough.
Yeah.
Oh, she want me to taste cookie dough, y'all. Let me hold up. Oh, good. This is good. That was good. Wow. Wow. Shout out to Patricia Bright. Man. Yo. That was yummy. Unexpected, but that was so good. I'm sorry, you can't just clean yourself up after having something so good like that, man. That was yummy. Okay. So I'm gonna start off this talk by kind of being a little honest. So, I've been seeing someone for a couple of months now, and I'm really happy. I'm really, really happy to be in this relationship with him. And I'm not gonna say any names or anything like that. Not because it's like scandalous, but you know, for a while I'm just gonna keep it under wraps. For a little bit longer. You know, then I'm gonna just brag. But no, but seriously, let me hold it up right there so you can see my forehead. But no, where was I? Was I like right here? Anyways, so yeah, so I've been in this relationship for a while, and we're long distance. He lives in Pennsylvania, and I live here in Texas. And I recently went to go visit him and his family for his birthday, and just getting to know him and his family. And it was such an awesome time. He took really good care of me. You know, we went, you know, obviously he took me to places in Philly. We went to New York. He's an awesome man of God. We actually, I don't want to give too much away. I don't know how many of y'all were from SCAD, but he went to SCAD. We graduated the same year. So you don't think I'm talking about some 40-year-old man, some sugar daddy. Yeah, and we have a lot in common. The quality of our relationship, I think, is something that I just praise God for. And this is one thing that I used to be concerned, like, what if I get in a relationship and then I think more about him than God or whatever. But I come to find out, I think about him a lot. I think about the guy I'm dating a lot. My boyfriend. Oh, I can say it now. I think about him a lot. But when I think about him, I also think about God, because without my relationship with God and where God has put me and how he placed me, and without me hearing him, I wouldn't have him. You know, I kind of didn't know if I wanted to date him, not because there was anything wrong with him, but because I feared there was things wrong with me. And, you know, for a longest time, I didn't want to think about him and liking him because of like, oh, I can't, and I'm not in the right place. And I remember just God through that time just speaking to me, like, one, like, stop trying to control your thoughts, because you controlling is, you know, taking I do the working in that. You're trying to control things that you don't really have any control of, you know, or that you're trying to control situations and outcomes, and feelings. Like, don't do that, you know. And then when I started releasing that and was like, God, you know, is this, and started allowing myself to like him, talking to him more, I was like, you know, God, is this something I can go into? Like, you know, I'm just nervous that this isn't it, or, you know, not it, like, the one necessarily, but just, like, you know, this isn't a relationship, you know, that's, you know, are you gonna pull this a rug under me? Like, is this something, a nice thing, and then, like, it's just gonna all fall apart, and I'm just gonna be disappointed at the end because, like, this is a good thing, and then all of a sudden, you know, you take them away or what have you. You know, I don't want to put my emotions in and then be disappointed and hurt. And then I remember in my quiet time, him showing me this verse, and he spoke, when I read it, I knew it was directly from God, answering my prayers and looking into my thoughts. And the verse was, it's the blessings of the Lord that make rich, and he adds no sorrow to it. And from there on, I was like, okay, God, you know, whatever does happen, though, it's going to be okay. And I have been blessed ever since. Like, this relationship is awesome. And I have no words. I mean, every time I think of it, I'm just like, praise God. Like, he does something else that surprises me every day. And I see more things in him that I'm like, I'm more just excited to be in this relationship with him. But anyways, ooh, my arm's starting to get tired. Let me see if I can adjust this a little bit. So, but I say all that, the reason I'm saying all this, I want you to understand the importance of protecting your relationship, and that there's an attack on relationships. When I got back from visiting him and his family, one of the things that I was being attacked on, or one of the things that was coming to my mind, were these negative thoughts, not against him, but against myself. And things like, you know, you're not good enough, you know, you're not pretty enough, you should lose more weight, all these types of negative things. I was like, what the heck, where are all these things coming from? And I knew, it took me a minute to kind of like, wait a minute, to catch on. But I realized that these were all negative things to kind of downplay, or not downplay, but to discourage me from really enjoying this relationship and seeing it going forward. Because this is the thing, like, the enemy is going to attack you on areas that are your weak spots. So you need to really know what those are. You don't need to focus on them, but you need to know what they are, because that is his plan of attack. And the enemy doesn't like relationships. It reflects God. Love reflects God, and he hates that. And he especially hates the fact that I'm in a relationship with another man of God. We have a quality relationship. We talk about just some awesome things. We have like deep conversations. We just laugh sometimes, talk about stupid stuff. But the thing is, we have joy and we express that. And people don't, you know, the enemy doesn't want us to express that, especially as children of God. Like, why? You know, like, you should be miserable. You should be, you know, just not enjoying life and be, you know, you gotta be pristine. And like, we're just having fun. You know, we're young 20-year-olds and we're having fun. And, we love the Lord, and we do silly things, and we express joy, and we have great relationships, and we like to speak life into other people. That's who we are. And the enemy hates that. And so what he'll do in mine and in your relationships is he will do things to divide and cause friction. Sometimes that's the fact that what he'll use is just differences. So you being female, him being male, right? And, you know, he claims you are too emotional. You claim he doesn't listen. He doesn't talk very much. And one of the things that I've learned over time is that men and women are just different, you know, in the way we express ourselves, in the ways we think. I wish I had more time to go into the whole depth of actually how men and women's brains are actually different, both in physical form and design, and just also with how they process. You know, really, you know, in a quick way, or, you know, kind of just giving you a Spark Notes version. Women have occupied more in the front than the men do. That in the front is the cognitive part, and the emotion parts, and just the speaking. So women tend to, when they are processing information or maybe even a problem, We tend to speak as we're trying to process what's going on and what we need to do. We'll call a friend, we'll call family, we'll write it, we'll blog it. Tend to, most of the time we're speaking as we're thinking and figure things out. Men, on the other hand, process more so their thinking when it comes to a problem. So that's sometimes why they go quiet or why they walk away. It's not because they care less about the situation, but they're also doing what you're doing, but they don't necessarily express it in that way. They are trying to figure it out up here. And what they do tend to speak out, which is the largest part, which is the larger part in the man brain. The woman's brain is actually smaller than the man's, but that does not mean that they are any less smart. That has nothing to do with it. It's just the fact that men just have larger brains. Just like a man tends to have larger hands than a woman, it's really just as simple as that. It doesn't mean that his hands can, work any better or less than yours. It's just how it's designed. But in the back of the brain, for the man, is where the solution and the problem-solving part is. I forgot the technical term, and this is all stuff I've learned from neurologist Caroline Leaf, who's a brain scientist for about 30 years. And she does extended talks on the brain and how it functions and how God designed it and everything like that. But anyways, and science to back it up, it's not just fluff. But anyways, all that to say is, men and women are different, and what the enemy will use is the fact that, well, he's different, you're different, these are problems, this is why this isn't going to work. And so he'll say to the man, like, oh, she talks too much, and and he'll say to the woman, he doesn't listen to you, like, watch, you had a problem and he walked away, like, he doesn't care. But if you know that there are differences, if you know that he's different because he's a male, and also you know your partner, so you know other things about him that make him different from you, and if he knows that you're different also just because you're female and also because of the things significant about you as his partner, they're not going to bother you that maybe he walks away, because him walking away does not mean he doesn't love me, but he's also trying to process this news, and he doesn't want, it's not him talking about, it's not how he figures things out. He needs to have time to be by himself. And he might be like, her talking isn't her trying to annoy me. She's also trying to figure it out, and she's also expressing her emotions because this is how she kind of gets through things. And if you know that about your partner, you're not going to be frustrated in so much friction, because you understand we're different, but we're going towards the same goal. And it's, what is the solution in this problem? Or we're going towards the same goal of figuring this out. We just express it differently. And if I know that you're expressing it, but your goal is to get here, I can ride with that, And that's just one of the ways the enemy is going to try to attack your relationship. That's just one of the ways that your relationship is going to fall apart, is simply because you're allowing the differences. Sometimes where are the stereotypes aren't necessarily bad, of, men are more quiet, women are more talkative, whatever may have you, all the other ones. They're not necessarily bad, so what makes us different, but we put a negative connotation of it. If we just know, yeah, these are things that make us different, but it's okay. We can still ride. We can still get through this. But the enemy didn't use that on me, the differences between me and the person I'm dating, because he knows I know that information. But what he did use was he tried to use the whole, you're not good enough. And that was actually the same problem, that I had at the beginning when I thought, do I want to date this person? Not because it's him, but because I don't feel secure, or I feel like I have all these issues. Everyone has problems. The enemy isn't going to tell you, though, that everyone has problems, that everyone has things that they're dealing with and that they're scared of. He's going to want you to think that you're the only one, and that if you fail, it's going to be catastrophic, and it's going to be your fault, And if you get hurt, you can't be upset about it because you knew. And so when that happened, I had to catch that and be like, no, the enemy cannot have my relationship, and I am good enough, And the person I'm in a relationship with, he loves me, He's told me. But he loves me, and I'm in a good relationship, and I love him, and I think he's awesome. I might have to cut that part out. I don't know if I want to say all that. Oh gosh. But yeah, protect your relationship, especially if it's a good one. And be honest with yourself too. If you're in a relationship and you know, girl, you need to get out of there. Or boy, look, she needs to work some stuff out. She's still hanging on the old boy. You need to let go. Look, be honest with yourself in those scenarios as well. I'm talking about relationships that are actually good, that are actually healthy, that the reason that you're not really going forward is because of little things that you can honestly work through. And I'm so glad that before I got in this relationship, man, I spent a year prior to, and honestly, since high school, I've always had an interest in relationships. Thus, I've done a lot of reading, but especially in the year, you know, prior to meeting the person I am currently dating, I did a lot of reading, and those books have helped me to understand him, because I think that's one of the things that we need to do in relationships. Understand the person you're dating, understand what makes them different, understand who they are. And if you can cater to those needs. And then that person also, if it's a healthy relationship, will want to do the same for you. Really quickly, I'm going to talk more about this, but the 5 love languages, one of the things that's really awesome, in the back of the book, if you end up getting it, it's a really small book. In the back of the book, it has a quiz for him and her, and so you can take it and find out what your love language is. I actually thought I knew what mine was, and I took the quiz, and I actually found out was wrong. And actually, you found out it made more sense, though. And I shared my results with the person I'm dating, and mine is words of affirmation. So it's just, you know, you telling that you're proud of me, things that you know, just nice things, encouraging things, inspiring things, things to bring life into the other person. Good job, you're awesome. Or anything of that sort. And since letting him know that, it's been so awesome. But he's been attending those needs and speaking to my love language in that way, in very special ways. And that is awesome. To have someone who cares enough to want to show love to you in the way that you receive it best. And to me, that's so special. And that's something that I feel like a lot of us, if we took time to understand the other person and gave life into them in that way, then you too will be filled. Because him doing that to me doesn't make me like, oh, all mine, let me just keep it. It's like, I keep it, but then I'm like, okay, what can I do for him? Because you just spurred me on. I'm like, yo, okay, now I gotta, like, you know, I gotta step it up. And it's not a competition, but it's like, I feel love. You best believe I'm gonna show you some love. You know, it's that. But anyways, protect your relationship, guys. I want you to have awesome relationships. Don't let little things, like things that do make you different, get in the way, or your own insecurities. Check those things. What is it? If it's fear, don't let fear get in the way. Sometimes we allow fear to really disrupt relationships by not going in them because we're afraid of our emotions or things about ourselves or things about the other person. Don't let that be the case, guys. Go in full faith that, you know what, if this is for me, God's going to open up doors. And I prayed for the longest time while dating this person. For the longest time. Honestly, probably for the first honestly, I want to say 2 months. I'm not even exaggerating. God, if this isn't for me, take it away. Until I got to the point and I was like, you know what, God, just thank you. I just started thanking him for it. But yeah, just go in full force, be bold, be brave, and allow God to take care of all the things that concern you and cause you to be fearful. That highlight! Look at that glow. But anyways, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. I know this was a really quick, kind of like impromptu video. I hope you don't mind. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. I'm so blessed in this relationship. And one day I hope to share more about the story of actually how we got together, and even more so the things I were thinking, just how God really brought together, how much of a blessing it is to be in this relationship with him. And maybe one day, you know, maybe one day we'll be on this video together and we can both talk to you guys. But I just wanted to share that. I love you guys. I really want you to have awesome relationships and to not be fearful of getting into them. And to protect them, protect the person. Know yourself so you're not the one ruining your relationship. Know who you are, and be in constant communication with God so that He can guide you. And let me just say, you know, when it says, you know, you hear, you know, God doesn't give you what you want, what you need. And sometimes that scares people because like, oh, I don't want like a fuddy-duddy, you know? Like, I don't want someone who's like, you know, I want someone that loves God, but I want him to be attractive, you know, all that kind of stuff. Look, God keeps the desires of your hearts in mind, right? So, I mean, I'm just saying, I got me a man of God. He is porn. Like, he is, like, he is so good looking. I'm just like, man, like, praise Jesus. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go. I love you all and have a great day. Bye.